Profiles in Cinemania. Jennifer Connelly. When you think of beautiful actresses from the 80s, who comes to mind? Michelle Pfeiffer, Molly Ringwald, Carrie Fisher, Jennifer Connelly. How about the 90s? Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, Lucy Liu, Jennifer Connelly. Y2K era? Salma Hayek, Natalie Portman, Uma Thurman, Jennifer Connelly. What about the 2010s? Lupita Nyong'o, Margot Robbie, Zoe Saldana, Jennifer Connelly. And currently, Zendaya, Jennifer Lawrence, Florence Pugh, and Jennifer Connelly. Anyone else noticing a pattern? For over 4 decades, Jennifer Connelly has been a leading actress, model, and beauty icon. That woman is aging better than a fine wine. How many people can be a teen model, do over 40 films, raise 3 kids, be an ambassador, run marathons, and still be a model for Louis Vuitton in their 50s? Jennifer Connelly was born in December 1970 in Cairo, New York, and grew up mainly in Brooklyn. At 10 years old, she signed on with the prestigious Ford modeling agency. This led to jobs in print advertisements and eventually TV commercials. She even graced the cover of 17 magazine. In 1986, she took a stab at the pop star route, recording 2 songs for the Japanese market. She did not, however, speak any Japanese and had to learn all the words phonetically. As far as we can tell, she kept all of her singing to her acting roles after that. After graduating high school in 1988, she studied literature at Yale for 2 years, then transferred to Stanford where she studied drama for another 2 years. Acting was her true calling, though, and her career had been picking up since her first role in 1984's Once Upon a Time in America, which actually filmed in 1982 and 83 when she was only 12 years old. She left college to focus on acting, and we can all agree that was a smart move. The 80s saw Connelly in mostly supporting roles and growing as a teen heartthrob. Starring in The Labyrinth in 1986 gained her more public recognition and more leading roles going into the 90s. She often played the love interest and/or sex symbol, but she quickly proved that wasn't her whole range. Later in the 90s and early 2000s, she took on more cerebral and complex films, like 1998's Dark City and 2000's Requiem for a Dream. Despite starting out in the acting and modeling industry as a child, her role in Requiem was the closest she came to spiraling out like so many others with the same backstory. She received numerous award nominations for her role as Marion Silver, which is unsurprising given how intensely she prepared for the film. She rented an apartment in the building her character lived in and isolated herself to live as Marion, except to go to Narcotics Anonymous meetings with a friend so she could learn more about the experiences of real-life addicts. Connelly received critical acclaim for her work in 2001's A Beautiful Mind, a Golden Globe, an Academy Award, and a BAFTA to name just a few. Awards weren't all she got from that film, though. She met her now-husband Paul Bettany on set. Apparently he had a teenage crush on her after seeing her in Labyrinth, and meeting her in real life reignited that spark. The attacks of September 11th happened later that year, and when he couldn't reach her for several days, the amount of concern he felt told him that this was something real. As soon as he knew she was safe, he proposed, despite the fact that they weren't even officially dating. The pair married secretly on New Year's Day 2003 and went on to raise 2 children together, alongside Connelly's son from a previous relationship. 20-plus years later, and they're still happily living in New York, attending galas and premieres, even occasionally working on films together. But, if her Instagram is to be believed, mostly just enjoying family life. Aside from a short hiatus around 2004, Connelly has worked consistently since 1982, appearing in at least one film nearly every year. This woman has 55 IMDb credits over the course of 46 years, and she's only 55. And these aren't a bunch of one-off characters on TV series either. Aside from a few music videos and a few long-running TV series roles, these credits are nearly all film roles. That's insane, and far too many roles for me to list here. The fact that she is consistently being cast over such a long career means she's doing something right. She makes emotional connections to her characters and brings those emotions out on the screen and in the audience. Outside of acting, Connelly's been an ambassador for Amnesty International since 2005 and Save the Children Fund since 2012. She ran the 2025 New York City Marathon to raise money for cancer research. She's also still modeling for brands like Shiseido, Revlon, and Balenciaga. She's been the house ambassador for Louis Vuitton since 2015. Is there anything this woman can't do? Surely a career this great could also cause cinemania. Yet, Connelly always seems to be adjacent to the cinemania rather than in the thick of it. Here at the Cinemania Society, we have a theory. This is going to sound crazy, and that's because it absolutely is. But here's how. Her first starring role was in The Labyrinth with Jim Henson and David Bowie, two people who have been at the heart of many, many Cinemania-inducing projects. Perhaps being so close to these bastions of Cinemania during such a formative time in her life not only exposed her to Cinemania, but inoculated her against it. She's an asymptomatic carrier who can spread Cinemania without being infected herself. How else do you explain her current sanity despite the many insane films she's been in and the length of time she's spent in the spotlight? Jennifer Connelly may seem unexciting by Hollywood standards, but a career spanning over 4 decades that includes modeling, over 50 film and TV credits, being an ambassador, all while raising seemingly normal, healthy kids in a 2 decades-long marriage, is nothing to sneeze at. It says a lot about the film industry that someone who works consistently and maintains a healthy marriage and family behind the scenes and doesn't have any scandalous behavior to speak of is the exception. And Jennifer Connelly is one hell of an exception. This has been another Profile in Cinemania. This episode was written and performed by Hope Bravo. Editing by Ethan Ireland. Music by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio.